Hello, I just wanted to show you an airplane design that I came up with that flies quite well. It's one of the best designs I've ever put together, and it actually resembles an actual fighter jet quite nicely. So let me show you how it works. First, you make a fold down the middle like so. Okay, it starts off like most other airplanes. Okay, you bend the top down each side like so. You can leave a little bit of a gap in between because otherwise it gets hard to fold at the end. So that's the first step. Okay, like this. Then you bend each side once more down the middle like so, and the other side like so. Once again, if you want to leave a small gap down the middle, that's fine. Try to keep it symmetrical. Okay, and there you go. Now, at this point, this is where it starts to differ a little bit from other airplanes. You'll fold it again. This gets a little bit tougher because now you're trying to bend almost 4 sheet thickness here, or 8 even. It's quite hard. So do one like so, and the other side like so. Okay, if you keep folding, you'll make a plain dart. But what I've done is instead, you're gonna bend this over at this point, the tip. Okay, and bend it over until the tip, like halfway, so the tip touches this point right here. Okay, and just try to keep it nice and square. Okay, as you can see, this is bent over in half, and the point touches here. Now, this is the interesting part. There's now a crease here, and you're going to use that reference as a line. So right here, from this point to this point here, okay, you're going to bend the paper. Okay, so you see this part right here, okay, and you're going to use the inside of that right there, okay, and you're going to bend this, and it takes a little bit of skill because you don't want to tear this end here, and you want it to fold nicely. So you'll do that. Okay, that's one side, and then you do the other side exactly the same. Once again, you mark that point there. Try to make it so that it just comes out so it's to the end here. Okay, so that's what it looks like at this stage. This is now bent over, and what you'll do now is you see this line going this way. Okay, there's a nice line and a nice line. You're going to bend this part over just so that when you flip it, it lines up nicely with the edge of this nose. Okay, so that's, so you know, you can go like that, or you can make it shorter. I like to do it exactly so it lines up. So you'll find that if you bend it just right, it will be the same width, the point where it's the same width as the gap. Okay, so you see this part from here to here, this width, I match up there. If you go too close, then it's going to be narrower. This is going to be narrower than the edges, and if you go too far over, it's going to be wider. So I bend it exactly where it's the same width. Okay, so at this point, you have the basic structure of your airplane. You'll now bend it over like this, and this is why I said before, it's a good idea not to overlap it too close to the middle, because it gets tough to bend this way. Okay, so this is what your plane should look like so far. Now you have to fold the wings. So there's a few options here. If you want a really high body, you can fold it up here somewhere. I like to go a little lower, so you leave about ½ an inch or so, or you can even use this guide. Try to get down, and what will happen is you'll form like a little triangular section right here. But try to keep whatever you decide to make the width here, try to keep the same on the end so that they're parallel. Okay, so you're going to do this like so. Okay, that's about parallel there. Okay, and then you flip it around and do the same thing on the other side. Try to line it up so the wings are symmetrical. Okay, something like that. Okay, and you'll have this section in the middle Okay, that looks sort of like this. You can crease these parts here if you want, just bend them over. Okay, and that's the plane right there. Okay, and at this point you want to bend over the edges of the wings up. You have to bend them so that they're parallel to the edge here. Even though they're kind of an odd angle, it's hard to measure, but try to keep it this edge. Okay, try to keep it parallel as much as you can to this top, and then the same thing on the other side. Okay, so now you have the plane. These come up on each end. Okay, and you can see it looks quite like almost like a little fighter jet. And then the final thing you can do, it is almost like the cockpit. You have the nose, the cockpit, you have the wings forming a nice shape. I like to add also a fin here. So, and you can use these to create elevators. So, if you cut this at an angle like this, okay, you get under the plane. You can do this with most airplane models, but paper airplanes, I should say. You cut it at an angle, and then you flip this up. What will happen is you'll create a little fin down the middle. Okay, so it looks quite nice. So there's the plane there. Okay, and in addition, to have your plane, it's nicely weighted. What you'll do is you'll hold it from here, and I'll show you a flight in a moment. Okay, when you throw it, it opens up, and this part it flies sort of like this. Okay, it's got a bit of an opening like this, and it flies nicely. It's almost like a stork head, so to speak. But in order to get it to fly up, you'll notice that the wings are not straight across. There's a little bit of an angle here. So what you can do is very carefully take the ends of the wings and form a line between the where the fin comes up in the middle and the tail end here, and you can do this, and you can fold this up as well, like this. Okay, and what you've created now are small elevators on the end of the wings. You see how they're not flat, they're poked up, see, just like that and like that. And when you throw this, you'll hold it right behind the thicker parts here, and it will rise up. And as you can see, it's nice and straight across here. It's not very wide. And so that's the airplane right there. Okay, and you can see that it looks quite like an actual airplane. So I'm going to try to fly it, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, hang on a second. So there you have it, one of my airplane designs that I found that flies really well. It's aerodynamic. It allows you to adjust minor things like the flaps at the back or elevators, and it looks like a real plane in a lot of ways, like a fighter. So it's not only a good plane, but it flies well, and it's easy to make. So thank you very much for watching this video, and please go out and make this plane and have fun. Thanks again, and if you enjoy it, give it a